كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى
স্বয়ংযোগ সংসিদ্ধ কালনানাতে বৃন্দতি নিঃসন্দেহে এই জগতে জ্ঞানের মতো পবিত্রকারী আর কিছুই নেই।
Ladies and gentlemen, I do welcome all of you to this SEMCA organized workshop. This workshop is basically a sequel to the other workshops, similar types of workshops in Bangladesh. The other two workshops have already been held in India and Sri Lanka. This is the third one. Sorry. The main purpose of this workshop is basically to facilitate discussions among the vice chancellors, among the policy makers and top level university administrators. So the purpose is not to teach anything, rather to generate ideas among ourselves through discussion about how we can use and integrate ICT in the higher education system. Sorry. Actually, you see, in the South Asian region, we have more than 1.6 billion people. About 25% of total population of the world is residing in this part of the world. So about 37% of the total population is under the age of 18. So this is a vibrant youth. These people are basically the inputs for our higher education. So what are we doing? Whatever statistics we have, the universities in all the countries in South Asia are not being able to meet the growing demand of higher education. Hundreds and thousands of admission seekers even in Bangladesh are left out. They can't get admission because of lack of adequate number of seats in the universities and other higher education institutions. So if we don't go for integrating ICT, if we don't go for online education and e-learning, it would be very difficult to cover all these people who are left out. So everybody has a right to education, and what we are doing is it is not at all enough to meet the growing demands of the society. That's why now the major question is how we can integrate ICT. So this is the workshop where we will discuss, we will generate our ideas, and we will come to some conclusion. And finally, we would like to develop some strategy plan so that we can go for e-learning in our universities. There is a confusion. Sometimes we feel confused that only open type of universities are suitable for e-learning, not the conventional universities. This is not at all true nowadays. Many universities in the United States of America, in the Australia, and many European countries, including Finland, where education is very vibrant, they are now using online education side by side with the conventional teaching type of education system. So our universities don't have any other alternative but to go for online education, because ultimately you have to go with this, and in this globalized world, we cannot remain idle, and we cannot just look what people are doing and we will be learning. We have already learned many things, now it is the time to apply ICT. So this workshop is a very important place where we can discuss about all these things. Dr. Sanjay Mishra, he has been leading this SEMCA for many years, and he knows all the details how the universities can go for online education, and in his introductory speech I think he would elaborate all these things. And Dr. Badrul Khan, you know him, he is a very famous educationist and at the same time e-learning strategist. He is very renowned all over the world. He has developed several books on e-learning strategy and e-learning framework. He is here and he will present the main papers here. So we will be able to learn from him how the world is moving, how the world is using e-learning in different ways. So our education secretary is here. He is very kind enough to be present here. Unfortunately, you know, our education minister was to come here. Actually, he confirmed us about 2 months back, but very suddenly he has fallen sick and now he is in the hospital. That's why he could not attend the seminar. We wish a very good recovery of our education minister. He is a very nice man. If he could be here, then we would have been very much happy. So our education secretary, I think he is also ICT minded. But those our Indian friends, for your understanding, our education secretary, who was previously the secretary in the Ministry of ICT, and he did a lot of things for introducing online education and for application of ICT in different aspects of education in all the sectors, in the primary sector, in the secondary sector, and in the higher education sector. And we are very happy that now he is with us in the higher education system. So I hope that under his able tutelage, our higher education system would go a long way to meet the demands of the society. So I also thank all of the Indian participants, especially because they have come far away from, some from Delhi, some from other parts of India, to attend this workshop, and thank all of my colleagues who are the Vice Chancellors of public universities in Bangladesh and the UGC members. Thank you very much.
Education Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, and more importantly, focal point for the Commonwealth of Learning in Bangladesh. Thank you, sir, for gracing the occasion and coming to this workshop on ICT, regional workshop on ICT leadership for higher education. Professor Manan, Vice Chancellor, Professor Tahir, Treasurer, distinguished Vice Chancellors of public universities of Bangladesh and India, and educational leaders of the region. It's indeed a matter of great pleasure for me to be here with all of you today for this two-day workshop, which is a third in the series, as Professor Manan indicated. The first one was organized in Hyderabad, where the Indian minister came, higher education minister, and the second one was Sri Lanka. The Sri Lanka higher education minister came, and I was wishing the Bangladesh minister would be here today, but I am told that he is not well, and it is we are very much thankful to him for giving the consent, and we sincerely wish a quick recovery for his health, and I think the Vice Chancellor will definitely send some message to him on behalf of COL and on behalf of the Bangladesh Open University for his quick recovery. I think I'll be failing in my duty if I don't share the greetings of the President of Commonwealth of Learning. Professor Asa Kanwar has been a great spirit and encouragement source for many of us in the Asian region. She belongs to India, but she worked for the 54 Commonwealth countries, and she is a role model for many of us, and she has sent her greetings for the success of this workshop, and to see how ICT can be more integrated in higher education institutions in Bangladesh and in the region, in the true spirit of the objectives of the workshop. Mr. Bis Naidu, who was supposed to be here, had some problem in regards to his visa not in Bangladesh visa, but visa in Canada. He is a South African, and therefore he had to cancel his trip in the last minute, and we have his video message.
Honored guests and workshop participants, please accept my sincere apologies for not being able to deliver my presentation in person. Unfortunately, travel issues have prohibited me from attending this important workshop. I hope this video and my full paper will offer workshop participants useful information and analysis that will set the basis for a successful workshop. More importantly, the outcomes of this workshop should enable the leadership of higher education institutions to address the issue of how ICTs can be used to improve learner outcomes and attainment. Higher education has been a hallmark of the education landscape and is a vital requirement for economic and social development of countries. As the Asian Development Bank puts it, higher education institutions operate as incubators of the innovation and creative thinking needed for an economically competitive society. Increasingly, technology is being integrated into the higher education systems, a factor that brings challenges and opportunities. Perhaps the greatest opportunity is to reach many learners, millions globally, and the chance to accelerate learning as never before. This makes the role of higher education institutions, like those represented here today, more important than ever. UNESCO has identified higher education as being critical to addressing the Sustainable Development Goals that the UN and other global and local organizations are setting. It may seem obvious on one level how education in general and higher education in particular benefits people. It equips individuals with competencies and skills that are needed in the labor market. But consider this from the World Bank. In its education, 0.12% is for tertiary education. This leaves little funding for research, technology, books, equipment, etc. that are essential for a high-performing
Respected Chair, Professor Dr. M.A. Mannan, Vice Chancellor, Bangladesh Open University, Dr. Sanjay Misra from SEMCA, Delhi, Professor Dr. M.A. Tahir, Treasurer, Bangladesh Open University, respected Vice Chancellors, Pro-Vice Chancellors, participants, colleagues, Assalamu alaikum. This is, I would say, a special occasion to talk before such a big educationist in a session, in a gathering. I would like to say a few words about this e-learning and what is happening here. In fact, quite often I listen that this area is very hard. It's not easy to embark on within a short period of time. But I'd like to mention three things. Firstly, one quote from the mentioned Nelson Mandela is, everything seems impossible until it is done. So these things, I think, is very simple than many other things. So why people say like this? Any human beings are always try to avoid any chance. But if we cannot love and lead chance, we cannot win the future. We cannot win the uncertainties. Second thing is that quite often I have been told that old people cannot learn this computer, these skills. But so far my knowledge goes, you know better than me, learning capability doesn't decline with age. There are a lot of research if there is no disease or no sickness. So I'm again repeating, learning capability doesn't decline with age. Third thing is that we always say that we old people, we cannot learn very easily. But this, and sometimes it is also told that less educated people, illiterate people cannot learn this. But most of the cases, I think, these IT areas, it's very easy because nowadays there are different menus. One can command from the menus. But when we are young men, boys, there's no such things. We cannot command through this menu. So even an illiterate person can run this. Rather, I would say these are all psychomotor sort of a skill, and it can be easily manipulated by any person. Another thing is that to do anything, if we Bangla jodi boli mota dager kotha, ami aaj dekhi Indian chhara keu Bangla bujhbe Indian proত্যেকে mota dager kotha jodi boli, three small circles or three circles. One is these three circles, three things are required to do anything. One is support. Without support, it's very difficult to do anything. So government has very strong support on e-learning, rather digital Bangladesh. So strong support is there. UGC, I say before me, UGC has very strong support. We are from the ministry, we are ready to support you. You can use us, whatever way you like. So support is there. Another thing, important thing is required is resource. Yes, we know that resource is a scarce commodity, but I think we have enough resource. If we can use prudently, if we can use in a orderly fashion, if we can create synergy, if we can pull the resource, we can create a lot of results and impacts as well. So I think, to me, I don't find any problem with resource. Still resources scarcity are there. The third thing is that I think these are the critical areas, the capacity areas. Capacity depends on many things, is mental makeup, all these things. Sometimes people say about mindset, but I myself personally do not believe in mindset in human beings. Why, you can ask me the question. The question is, if you put any person in a system, then he can perform. And after 2-3 years, you see that he is doing the same thing. He is accustomed with that. So mindset is not matter. Matter is how you are developing system, how you are using the system, how you are repeating and imitating the same system quite frequently so that it become a permanent memory like things. I'll mention about psychomotor. When you stuck on some points by a hammer, if you stuck for 2-3 weeks, you see that you can stuck on the same point closing your eyes. So it's like that. So I myself personally do not believe in mindset. Any mind could be set. I quite often mention one example. You see a ordinary girl, when he is performing in a drama or a cinema, she become queen, and she perfectly, acts like a queen. So it's possible. It's not that mindset, I think. Second thing is that in our situation, every year we are producing 4 million babies. Only 1 in 13 is going to universities, tertiary education, if I am not wrong. 1 in 13. But in European Union, their policy is 50%, that is 1 in 2. Another point is that how relevant is our education. UK is producing 150 philosophy graduates, but we are producing thousands and thousands. So our production is not relevant with market. So I think if we could embed IT in our higher education, we can make it more relevant. I know that we cannot change overnight. There would be a lot of protest if we want to change it, I'm sure. But we can make it relevant if we embed in IT in each and every subject. Second thing is that this may be in teacher learning areas. We can achieve more in a very short time if we can embed IT, use IT in teaching learnings. Another thing is that even we can improve our administration, education administration or education management using IT. This corruption is there, everywhere is there, I cannot deny that, but if we use this IT, we can reduce a lot. Because always proximity is facilitating corruption, but IT, you can do anything sitting in a far away, so it can compromise with proximity. So this, even we can improve education administration. Third thing is that in our situation, I find that from my practical experience in government office, documentation is a big problem. Nobody wants to, make table all these things. But if we can create a small software, we can document any sort of knowledge or content material very easily. So documentation area also we need to look into how we can use IT, harness IT. The third area, the big area where I think the big problem is content area. We have very little or scanty content, or localized contextual content is very, very few, in Bangladesh particularly, what I understand. Another area already mentioned, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, is demand. A lot of demand for higher education, but we cannot meet with these resources, classroom and all these things. If we could use e-learning, then we can very easily meet this demand. Even we should go for hybrid mode, I think, then we could reduce the time as well. But I find that there is a barrier in the law for private universities, perhaps in delivering in hybrid mode. I am trying to sensitize people so that we should change this system. So in a particular university, they should have what already Dr. Mannan mentioned, that there should be 2 modes, e-learning mode and as well as the conventional mode. We should have the same course, we should have some hybrid mode. And another thing is that alone we cannot create a lot, but if we cooperate with other people, network with other people, we can create a lot of things. So I would say is co-creation is very important to use IT, sitting in different areas. If we can use the method of co-creation within a very short time, we can create a lot of content, because we have a lot of experts sitting in different places, but there is no connection, there is no networking among them, and there is no concept of co-creation. They can sit together through IT, not sitting in a particular place, virtually sitting together, then they can co-create a lot of things. Another things, many things I find that we need to connect with our academia, with industry, with those people who are practically doing things, even informally doing, how we can connect these people. I think IT is the best thing, and that could be a method of crowdsourcing. You know, I find that the big companies in the world like Google and many other companies, they are always crowdsourcing. They are getting information from their customer. They want to set up innovation center in our universities. Why? Because this is one sort of crowdsourcing. So if you put something in some system, if anybody has got any access, then they can comment on your things, on your content, everything. And you can, by this way, you can improve without spending any money. It's a very important area, I think. Another thing, co-petition. When I travel by plane, I find when I went to Joshua, I find that after 15 minutes another plane. So every time blame on government there is no coordination, there is no cooperation. I find even in this country there is no cooperation among private entities, private business even. Without flying two airplane, if there is a little bit bigger airplane, they can save 30-40% fuel and manpower as well. And they can compete at the same time without competition rather. So the different education, higher education institution can have competition, and using this IT is a very fantastic opportunities of this. Networking I should not mention, but the other thing I'm going to mention is, yesterday I was in Noakhali University, and it is in my mind before posted here as a education secretary that I'll create some open educational resource. And I already talked to Asha Kanur, I think 2 years back, 2 or 3 years back, I talked to them, but I could not get any opportunity. Since I was in Defense Ministry, I thought that all the Vice Chancellor, everybody is as good as my teacher. So how we could approach sitting in the ICT Ministry. Now there is opportunity. Yesterday I told that I'm not Education Secretary, I'm a member of your team. I'll be coming to your university, I'll be traveling all of your public universities, I'm sure I'll be traveling. And I want at least 2 young men from each and every department. And without spending any farthing, we can create a lot of content, localized contextual content. Because every time they are producing content, if I create a system, and Commonwealth already agreed to me to help us to create a system. If we create a system and every young man can put some, young professor can put some content in their system, some students, some other teachers can comment on that, then they can improve it very easily. It's not a very hard thing. And by this way, we want to go to each and every professor, each and every teacher, and we said that we want to write, everybody of us, we want to write a book. And it's possible, it's not very hard. So far, myself remember, Condoleezza Rice, Madeleine Albright, and the Jordanian Queen, I forgot the name is, Leaf of Faith. He wrote the book, is called Leaf of Faith. They sat together long back and said that everyone of us will write a book. And everybody wrote book. I have gone through 2 of their books. One has not already, I didn't collect it. So if we sit together, you are the real leader. If you can inspire, every of your teacher can write a book. But the initial stage, they can create on their content, put in the system, then they can get confidence. Confidence is the main thing, And then we can, you as a Vice Chancellor, you can pull together the resource, the support, and the capacity. Capacity is not very hard to create among university teachers. They are the best of best. So I would ask to you, please use me, whatever you like. I'm ready every time. I'm trying to manage sometimes, I'm trying to understand the system where I'm working, because the bureaucrats are not Socrates. We cannot say anything in a plain way, and we cannot be, kurbani jarake bole arki. Kurbani hoye jete to pari na. So maybe like we can move like Copernicus. Sometimes we say that the sun is moving in that way. Then the other way around, when the system is favorable, situation is favorable. So I would say I'm ready to serve you. You don't hesitate to ask me anytime. I'm your student. Think as I'm your student, and I'm saying some of them are my teacher as well. So we want to create something, and I request the SIMCA that what I have already told, but I feel a little bit shy that I'm saying the same thing for the last 2 years, but I'm not doing anything. I think this is the golden opportunity. We can do something. I'd say, Professor Mannan, our Vice Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, I think you need to take the lead. I'm with you. I'll be working as your disciple. You see, you are the real people. You know how to do it. I'll be as Amla, I'll be helping you, you know, to কুটাবাটা যেটা বলে সেটা আমি করে দেব রান্না আপনাদেরকে করতে হবে আপনাকে মনে হয় আমি দেখেছি যে you have got some people very dedicated and they actually knows how to do it, so we can readily use this expertise. But I'm quite sure I'll be doing something in these areas, and resources is not a problem. Hikayev, there is a project is called Hikayev, but I don't find any component of creating content. Without creating content, it is like হাড়ি আছে চুলা আছে তেল আছে কিন্তু ভিতরে কোনো খাবার নেই আমি কিন্তু এসে দেখছি তাই reality is that, so we need to create some content so that we can really use it. This connectivity is nothing. If I put money to a private ISPs, they can supply me with internet, they can supply me through 3G as well, but content creation is really depends on our professors, our teachers, our expert. My additional secretary is there. I have not yet sensitized in a great way to my colleagues, because I find that when anybody is নতুন বউ যখন একটা সংসারে যায় তখন দেখে যে আসলে কিভাবে চলে বলে আমিও কিন্তু এরকম স্ক্রুটিনির ভিতরে আছি আমি দেখছি না রিয়েলি আমি দেখছি তখন আমার মায়ের কাছে আমি শুনেছি যে আমার মার যখন বিয়ে হয়েছে তো তখন ওই টাইফয়েড হলে নাকি দাঁত পড়ে যেত তো আমার এক খালার দাঁত পড়ে গেছিল তো আমার মায়ের যখন বিয়ে হয়েছে তখন পাড়ার যারা আছে আমার ওই অন্য ফুপো টুপোরা আছে তারা আমার মায়ের মুখের ভিতরে আঙুল ঢুকাই দিয়েছে হ্যাঁ সে আমলে আমি মায়ের কাছ থেকে শুনেছি আমার মা কোনোদিন তাদের দেখতে পারতো না হ্যাঁ তো আমার অবস্থাও কিন্তু অনেকটা তাই আমি দেখছি যে সেরকম আমি একটু বুঝছি যে আমাকে গুছিয়ে এগোতে হবে. So I'll be sensitizing as well to my colleagues. I have already had a presentation with my colleagues. I've taken a little bit more time, sorry for that, but I'm very confident that together we can create something. And I'll again mention one African proverb. It's called, if you want to go for a short distance, walk alone. If you want to go for a long distance, work with others. And I want to work with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring.
Actually, the chair has nothing to say after everybody has spoken. So I should be very short because we have already spent a lot of time. I think we have got very important inputs from our Honorable Secretary. He is really an expert in this field, you know. So today we will be able to utilize our time because he will be present here, hopefully. He will be present with us as participant, as facilitator, as a resource person in every capacity. So thank you, Honorable Secretary, and thanks to all of you. Actually, I want to say a few words about Open University because this is an opportunity. In Open University, because there are many confusions about the functioning of Open University. Actually, in Open University, we are using synchronous and asynchronous approaches to education. It is a blended approach. So this approach means that there are practical classes usually on the weekend days, and also there are classes in the air through television, through radio, through YouTube, through website, and many other ways where technology can be used. So in Bangladesh Open University, we have by this time developed many other technologies in order to provide education. For example, we are using now this mobile set. We are inserting video lectures and audio lectures in the mobile set, and these sets are being delivered to the students whenever they get admission, and without using any internet connection, they can use all these video and audio lectures anywhere, anytime in the world. So this is a good advantage for the learners that without attending classes, they can view the classes and they can repeat the same classes, which is not possible in conventional system. Because in conventional lecture, whenever the lecture is over, the class is over, the students go away, the teacher goes away. But in this case, the video lectures can be repeated. So a student can meet the teachers time and again on the same issues. So this is one way to improve quality also. And this is a part of online education. So in our university, we are also using YouTube very intensively. By this time we have uploaded more than 100 video lectures and audio lectures in the YouTube. If you visit our website and YouTube, Bangladesh Open University, just browse Bangladesh Open University, you will find a lot of information about the lectures in the YouTube. And we are uploading our lectures in our website, also in our video gallery. And we have already transformed almost all of our more than 500 books into e-books. And these e-books have been uploaded in our website. So every time wherever there are needs for reformation, needs for any kind of revision, we are doing it, and simultaneously we are uploading all these things. And in the future, we are thinking about uploading all these educational materials in Twitter and any other technologies that are available. And we have already developed 3 IVCR, interactive virtual classrooms, one in our main campus, one in Dhaka city campus, and one in Mymensingh. So we gradually we will cover all the 92 centers of our university all over the country. So this way we are expanding our education spectrum. So these are the technologies. Then with the assistance of Bangladesh University Grants Commission, we are developing a special lab where we will be able to offer video conferencing for our students. So wherever they will be within Bangladesh, they will be able to attend the classes. The classes will be conducted from Dhaka, and all students from anywhere, any part of the world can attend these classes from our regional centers. And it will be interactive. Students will be able to ask questions even to the teachers through videos. So this way we are trying, in addition to our television telecasting and also our radio broadcasting. So these are the things that we are doing, and we are already on the online system. So hopefully we hope that the conventional universities will also go for this kind of things, because you know there are many American universities who have already declared at least 10% of the total courses on online. So they can save their space, they can save their accommodation, they can save money in terms of hiring resource persons or teachers. This way we can also save our money. In Bangladesh, you say we are we are constrained by our funding. Government is not giving adequate amount of funding. It's not possible. So we have to depend on ourselves for generating income. And by reducing expenditure, we can generate income. Reducing expenditure is actually a tantamount to earning income. This way, we can develop our universities on our own. So thank you very much. Before I conclude, I would now request our Honorable Secretary to release one very important publication. This is ICT Leadership in Education Selected Readings. It is published by SEMCA. So thank you very much. Now I request our Honorable Secretary to release it.
No, it's just some of all the 3 reasons of this activity combined into a.
স্যার একটু সামনে আসতে হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে স্যার ম্যাডাম একটু পিছাবেন একটু আপনি ম্যাডাম থ্যাংক ইউ Thank you, sir.
Good morning and Assalamu alaikum to all. In the meantime, our Honorable Vice Chancellors, distinguished guests, and already discussed what are the objectives of our that is called workshops. Basically, this workshop belongs to that is called the exchange of views and ideas among the academic icons involved in higher education in Bangladesh and India. Bangladesh Open University strongly believes that this workshop will bring fruitful results, especially develop a strategic plan for actions, integration of ICTs in higher education institutions, and roadmap for ICT applications in teaching and learning.